Welcome back to The Lead. I'm Jake Tapper. Senator Ted Cruz just gained his first endorsement from one of his Senate colleagues as Cruz positions himself as the party's best chance to stop Trump. Could more backers follow? Joining me now is Senator Mike Lee. Senator, thanks for coming on today.
Thank you. Great job last night, by the way, at the debate.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. So Donald Trump is trying to moderate his tone to unite the party. We saw some of that last night. Do you think it's possible that he could bring the party together were he to become the nominee?
I don't know, and I'm not being coy on this one. I really need a whole lot of other questions answered regarding Donald Trump before I know whether I could support him or whether I know whether most of the party could support him. I still don't know where he stands on a whole host of issues, from federalism to separation of powers to the basic fundamental role of government in general. I'm waiting to hear more specificity from him. But what I do know is that it's time for the party to unite behind Ted Cruz. There's a lot of excitement behind Ted Cruz, and there's something there for Republicans at every step along the ideological spectrum within the right of center space.
So, Senator Lee, you and Senator Cruz have been united in a lot of issues and a lot of causes in the Senate. You may be his closest friend in the Senate. If you don't mind my asking, what took you so long to endorse him?
Well, I've made no secret of the fact that I've had three friends in this race for a very long time. When Rand Paul got out a few weeks ago, then I had two close friends in the race. I never ruled out the possibility that at some point I might endorse. A point in time could come when it would be time to try to unite the party, and I think that point has finally arrived. There's no scientific formula that enables me to say, yeah, this is the time, but you know, it has occurred to me in recent days that this is the moment. Ted Cruz is gaining momentum, and I believe that he is the best candidate. In fact, I think he's the only candidate who is not Donald Trump who can get the nomination at this point.
Why do you think you're the only one of Cruz's Senate colleagues to support him right now?
First of all, you have to remember that the overwhelming majority of Republican senators have not endorsed anyone. You know, you've got a handful who have endorsed. I am the first one who has endorsed Ted Cruz. I'm confident that I will not be the last. I'm sure others will follow.
What about your friend Marco Rubio? What do you think he should do?
Marco Rubio is a great man. He's a great friend of mine, will always continue to be. I hope that he will end up supporting Ted Cruz. I hope that he'll get on this bandwagon and help supporting him. That'll, of course, be up to him and his family as they make decisions over the next few days.
Of course, we have no idea what's going to happen on Tuesday. He could well win the Florida primary, although polls seem to suggest Donald Trump will. Do you subscribe to the theory that if he loses badly in his home state, his political career is over?
I don't know if you can ever say that someone's political career is over just because they lose one election, even if it's a presidential primary election in their home state. It certainly isn't helpful, and I know that would have to be very discouraging to him if that happens. But I don't think anyone can say that he has no political future if that doesn't turn out well for him on Tuesday.
Senator Mike Lee, thank you. It's been too long. Don't be so long.